Dear friends, let me announce the next event. We planned for August 1st and 2nd by His Holiness the Sakya Trichen events streamed by Sakya Friends Zoom. Then on August 14th, Monday, His Holiness the Sakya Trichen Vajra Rinpoche will give the Medicine Buddha Empowerment. We will publish the announcement when we know the exact time. Then on August 19th, Saturday, Lama Choedak Rinpoche will bestow the Amitabha Empowerment. Thank you very much. Dear Rinpoche La, thank you so much. We are ready to start.
Welcome everyone and thank you for staying around, have not disappeared. Continuing the teaching on the practice of the goddess Prajnaparamita. So after receiving the empowerment, it will be very essential if people took some effort and make a habit to do the learn the contents, structure, symbolism, the meaning and application of the practice. So here we have this very short and concise practice on White Prajnaparamita, composed by none other than Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo, called Essential Illumination, Sadhana of the Blessed Mother White Prajnaparamita. So I'm going to explain on the basis of this. The person who can do this sadhana is those who have received the empowerment. So you should rejoicingly do that whenever you can. Time for you to do mostly when we do the wisdom and the long life deity practice, usually you do first thing in the morning, the early morning before you do your worldly task and consume any heavy foods. So that's the time. The motivation that you should develop is how important it is to develop wisdom. So many people have many other skills. They do know how to do many things, but how and for what is the purpose, the wisdom is often lacking. So therefore there's so much confusion within each individual and between two people, always misunderstand, and instead of understanding what the person's saying, we do not know what their intention is. We assume that's the intention is, and we always misunderstanding. So we suffer from misunderstanding after misunderstanding. So the wisdom is that which understand the misunderstanding and develop very compassion where there are misunderstanding. So we need to have this sharp faculty of intelligence that when there's misunderstanding, you have to have compassion to those. This is what the deluded sentient beings are like. And usually when there's misunderstanding, we think it's awful. We think it shouldn't happen. We think it's intolerable. We think it's a zero tolerance. That's not the wisdom of understanding misunderstanding. Wisdom of misunderstanding is having compassion to those who have misunderstanding. For those who don't know, it's misunderstanding. They don't know. They have ignorance. They are not aware. They misunderstand, they misinterpret, and they didn't examine carefully, and so they mistakenly understand, even in a conventional reality. So therefore, when we motivation to do the Prajnaparamita sadhana should be how much confusion and misunderstanding and assumptions and innuendos there are in the world between two people, between husband and wife, between best friends, how smallest things can just confuse all of their good friendship and so on. So we have to have great pain and hurt in sentient beings being deluded by misunderstanding. Have a lot of compassion to those who have misunderstanding. Do not act righteously when there is misunderstanding. Feel compassionate. They don't know. They want to go to East, but they keep going to the West thinking it's East. They want happiness, but they keep creating things that actually causes suffering. This is the pity. This is really, really pitiful. So all the wisdom goddess Prajnaparamita is a mother who wanted to mother orphan-like sentient beings who are languishing in the pool of misunderstanding. So therefore, the name of the sadhana is called illumination, essential illumination. Illumination is the darkness need to be illuminated. The room that is dark, we need to bring the light in. You know, if you don't know how to find your way in from one place to another, you need a light, you need a street light, you need torch. Otherwise, you're going in the wrong direction. You want to go this way, but you're instead going that way. So, Nagarjuna talks about people going from darkness to darkness, and the darkness, not thinking it's darkness, and then going from light to darkness, and darkness to light to darkness, and darkness to light. Very few people go from light to light. So here, with the help of the teachings of the Prajnaparamita, we want people to develop light, go from light to light. You know, knowing everything is impermanent is light. Knowing that very thing that is impermanent actually doesn't exist at all is a light to light. You know, and then that the very person who has those difficulties do not truly exist himself. You see, so this is the kind of, we have to understand the emptiness of the object, emptiness of the subject, emptiness of the action. And when we don't understand this, we get confused. So the purpose why we need to do Prajnaparamita is to clarify, to mediate, to bring illumination, to bring light. They call let there be light. Yeah, if you do the sadhana of Prajnaparamita, it will bring light. And Buddha himself is an enlightened one. He's the constant. His practice was always try to dispel the confusion and misunderstanding. And that's why he called awakened one. He's woken up from the slumber of darkness. So that's the main motivation. And then what is the Prajnaparamita sadhana itself is what we have got before us. Then how does it help to you by doing the sadhana? Is it will completely shift your mentality, your attitudes. And so, and then the application of that is that you will then see every day when you encounter samsara and sentient beings and lost samsara, you always see them with like an orphan. You are like a mothering, or you will always see them as your own children, like sentient beings who are lost, who have lost their mother, who have completely stranded. So you be gentle with sentient beings. So that's the application. That's the application of the Prajnaparamita's qualities. That you need to have this awareness to see all sentient beings as orphaned by not having the mother, like the Prajnaparamita mother that you want to become. So your role is to mother the sentient beings who are like children, who are lost, who are orphaned, who don't understand impermanent as impermanent, who don't understand impure body as impure, who doesn't see that self is an illusion, who doesn't see the phenomena is impermanent. They grasp impermanent things as permanence, impure things as impure things, undesirable things as desirable things. So you see how malnourished sentient beings are. They are in the darkness all the time. So we must This is the application. I said about the, usually the teaching says there are 7 W's, 7 W's is when do you do, where do you do, who does it, So you are the initiate of Prajnaparamita should do it. You should do early in the morning, You should do it if possible, in your shrine room as allocated space of meditation. And then the 4th is why. Why we do this? Why we do the sadhana? Why we do sadhana? Because we want to become the mother. Prajnaparamita. We want to be Bhagavati Prajnaparamita. Sorry if I'm a bit too soon there, quick there. It's all Sanskrit. Bhagavati means the mother. Prajnaparamita is a perfection wisdom. So mother, perfection wisdom. So we take the role of the goddess perfection of wisdom. The reason why we are goddess is that we mother the child like sentient beings who are completely stranded and who are neglected. So we need to be gentle with sentient beings. If you do the sadhana, if you do the Dharma practice, the idea is not so much you sit so many hours in the sadhana. The idea is that when you are out of sadhana, how carefully do you mother sentient beings? That is the quality. That is why you do the sadhana. So that you're a little bit more skillful at your work with your boss, or with your juniors, or with your equals, or with the office misunderstanding. There you try to be the mother. That is the reason why we put a tanka on the wall, statue on the shrine, do the sadhana, do the mantra each day, so that we are able to mother the sentient beings who are so orphaned, who are lost. So that is why. That is why we do the sadhana. And then the 5th W is what is the sadhana? And that's exactly what we're going to go. Well, what is the sadhana that requires you to do? And so here, according to German Khenze Wangpo, he first of all pay homage, Namo Guru Prajnaparamita. So means homage. He pays homage. He pays homage to Namo means homage. Guru is to the teacher. Prajnaparamita means to the Guru Prajnaparamita I pay homage. So here the author is paying homage. And then it is said this is for those who wish to accomplish the glory and qualities of intelligence and right speech. These 2 things. Qualities, you have to have the qualities of intelligence. If you don't have quality of intelligence, there's no right speech comes out, So if you have quality of intelligence up here, this is the Buddhi Vardhani, Buddhi Vardhani. So we were reciting the mantra. Buddhi means intelligence. Vardhani means ever enriching intelligence, qualities of intelligence you have. Then what you speak would be right speech. Because one who doesn't have much information up here hasn't got much good to come from the mouth, isn't it? So, and right speech. So it will give you one of the siddhis, blessings you are entitled is that your speech becomes so blessed and skillful, wise, and well controlled, and just apt. So that's why I go right speech. By how do you receive these 2 qualities of speech, qualities of intelligence and right speech? By relying upon the meditation of Prajnaparamita. That's the sadhana. Yeah. So what is the sadhana? The meditation on the Prajnaparamita, and together with the meditation, recitation of the Mother Prajnaparamita, White Prajnaparamita. So the recitation of the sadhana from the beginning, including the mantra, as taught in the Arya Dakini Vajrapanjara Tantra. So that's Arya Dakini Vajrapanjara Tantra is referred to a commentarial tantra, belong to anuttara yoga, particularly Mother Tantra. which is the Hevajra Tantra. So it's talking about from where this white Prajnaparamita is taught. And so that's just general introduction. Then, so those who wish to do this, they should their sadhana constitute a preliminary part, main meditation, and then how to do the recitation mantra, and then how to conclude the sadhana. The first is preliminary of the sadhana, is a refuge and a generation of bodhicitta. So this is captured in the first verse. I and all beings take refuge in the Guru and Triple Gem. So that is those who go for refuge. You shouldn't take refuge as I'm doing the sadhana, I have to do the sadhana every day as a burden. You are not doing for yourself. You're not doing by yourself. You're doing for all sentient beings. Remember that. I and all beings are doing this. And what are you doing? You are taking refuge. You're always bringing along. You're always tagging sentient beings with you, you know. Somebody says, are you alone? You should say, yeah, but with all the sentient beings too, you know. So the people say, we have only one seat. No, I'll fit them in my mind, in my heart. So you should always say, are you alone? You should never say, no, I'm not alone. I'm with sentient beings. I and all sentient beings. Yeah, all beings. Must remember that. Not all sentient beings, but not just all sentient beings, but all mother sentient beings. Not only they are sentient beings, they are my old mother sentient beings. Think like that. And so then you are really having this amazing kindness to all your children like sentient beings who have mothered you so many lifetimes. This time you have to mother them. I and all beings. So that shows who is going for refuge. The initiate practitioner who as a Mahayanist includes all sentient beings in his heart, go for refuge. And what does he do? What is you doing? Take refuge. So I say, take refuge. So that's take refuge means not stay unsafe. Not stay unsafe in your physical conduct, verbal conduct, and mental attitudes, but take refuge so that you become safe in your ways of thinking, doing, speaking, not speaking, and you take refuge. Take refuge means you have a precept to remember bodhicitta, and eradicate the wrong views, and endeavor to practice right view. This is the taking refuge. And to whom you take refuge? In the Guru and the Triple Gem. It's very important. Vajrayana, we always tend to add the Guru, but remember, Guru is not inseparable from the Triple Gem. Guru, the human teacher, you don't take refuge, okay? The Guru here is Guru Vajradhara, Guru Akshobhya, any of the 5 Buddhas is a Guru. The Guru is not the human Guru. Human Guru, historically human Guru, but ultimately the human Guru should be seen and perceived as Akshobhya. Then it is Guru is okay as a refuge object. But most people these days, they take refuge in a human teacher and refuge, and idolize him or her as free of karma and defilements, and not having themselves pure perception of seeing the Guru as embodiment of the Triple Gem, and that's why they're confusing. So one has to take refuge only in the Triple Gem. The Guru is not an additional one. Guru is the inevitable, indispensable for you to meet the Triple Gem is the Guru, but actual Guru is nothing additional. So Guru and Triple Gem means the Guru in the Vajrayana is seen as the Guru is the Buddha, Guru is the Dharma, Guru is Sangha. Otherwise, you do not see the human Guru as a refuge object. Your real Guru is the Buddha Gem, Dharma Gem, Sangha Gem. That is all 3 together is a Guru. All 3 together is Guru. So human teacher, an enlightened teacher, and a wisdom teacher in Buddhism. Human teachers are only human teachers, but they are not enlightened teachers. Enlightened teachers are only the Buddhas. Even that there are not many, And the wisdom teacher is your own wisdom knowing this, and then that enables you to realize the truth yourself. So here, triple gem refers to the teacher triple gem, and the teaching teacher gem, and the holy sangha precious gem. The teacher gem is the Buddha gem. His teacher gem is the fully enlightened one, who has no faults, who has accomplished all the qualities, who embodies the wisdom and compassion, is the Buddha gem. Buddha gem is the teacher, and the Dharma gem is the actual teaching. Actual gem that relieves you and liberates is the Dharma, not the teacher, not the Sangha. So therefore, you're practicing the Dharma gem liberates you, not even by the Guru gem or Buddha gem or the Sangha gem, by the Dharma gem that you realize. So the realization of the triple gem is very important. The Dharma gem is the sadhana practice, understanding of the teachings, enables you to, gem means precious, You realize, oh, this is valuable, this is profound. These people say the teaching is profound. Profound in the sense it completely quells and destroys your wrong views. It dismantles your suffering and network of your prison. And that is the gem. It frees you from poor me mentality, Dharma gem. And that Dharma gem comes to you through Sangha gem. That's why we are very indebted to our gurus. Guru is in conventional Buddhist is a Sangha member. So we are very indebted to our living Sangha for bringing the Dharma to us. So that is the refuge. Take refuge. What you do, you and all sentient beings, take refuge. Until when? Until enlightenment reach. So this is Mahayana. In the other Buddhists, they take refuge as long as I live, or as until tomorrow, or some precepts are only taken for 24 hours. Others are just for life. But Mahayana, it's until essence of enlightenment reached. So the refuge here is until enlightenment is reached. Yeah. So that's the purpose of taking refuge. So that's the refuge. And then the bodhicitta is covered. In order to benefit sentient beings, I will attain Buddhahood. So this last segment constitutes wishing, engaging bodhicitta. So will attain means you will attain Buddhahood. Purpose of this is so that not that you attain Buddhahood for the sake of, in order to benefit sentient beings. So that's the bodhicitta motivation. So repeating these 3 times constitute the refuge and the generation of the bodhicitta. So that concludes the refuge and bodhicitta as a preliminary. Then the main meditation begins by reciting the mantra and meditating on dissolution of your ordinary sense of appearance and identity as illusion. And so therefore you meditate, you recite Om Shunyata Jnana Vajra Swabhava Atma Ko Ahang. So Om means homage, Shunyata means emptiness, Jnana means wisdom, Vajra Swabhava means adamantine nature, Atma Ko Ahang means I am. So basically means I am the adamantine nature of the wisdom of emptiness, which means you are empty of aggregates. You're merely labeled now I am. So therefore, as soon as you say that, you should visualize dissolving yourself into emptiness. So that means dissolution of yourself and emptiness is accumulation of wisdom. Doing the refuge in bodhicitta is accumulation of merit. So by this accumulation of merit, it purifies the karmic and afflictive obscurations, and accumulation of wisdom purifies the obscuration of knowledge. These 2 obscurations are remedied by the 2 accumulations, and that enables you to attain the two kayas. Dharmakaya, that's the emptiness. So you remain in the state of emptiness. And out of the Dharmakaya, you instantly, it says here, out of the emptiness, yeah? Out of the emptiness, from emptiness, your mind, your own mind appears. Your mind is not visible. Usually we don't see our mind, don't we? You know, they don't say mind. But in Vajrayana is very skillful. It tried to make even mind itself is visually possible to see. Your mind appears as a white syllable Om. White syllable Om. Upon a lotus and a mundus. So that the lotus and the mundus, as I mentioned, represent your relative and ultimate bodhicitta. And seed syllable Om. Seed syllable Om is in the center of that. And the rays of light issue. Rays of light issue from this syllable Om. What does it do? It do two things. One, to make offerings to the holy ones, honor them. Second, and to benefit all ordinary beings. So it fulfills two purposes. One, to honor the enlightened ones. One, to benefit sentient beings. Benefit sentient beings mean heal them, clarify them, give them guidance, free them from suffering and their wrong views, and so on. And so then there's those very two rays of light. The light rays then reabsorb into the Om. Reabsorb into the syllable Om. And the syllable Om is a symbol of yourself, yeah? And then the Om, syllable Om becomes yourself. Now yourself, syllable Om. First is the letter Om, that is the deity. First, therefore, before that is emptiness. And then there is letter Om. Now the Om syllable becomes a deity. Oneself instantly becomes Mother Prajnaparamita. And so therefore you become now visible, which is quite a nice change, A previous visible form is a mere concoction of wrong view. Right now, this one is your manifestation of Prajnaparamita is Rupakaya. Previous form of your ordinary body is due to the body of your karma and affliction make you to be born in this fleshy, bubbly body. So to purify your rebirth by Rupakaya and purify the death by yourself doing the emptiness meditation, Dharmakaya. And now you become Prajnaparamita, brilliant, white and beautiful. You become brilliant and white and beautiful because normally we are not beautiful. We look beautiful, but we are full of 36 impurities. We are bag of negativity, affliction, bag of food, bag of drinks, bag of snots. We are not really pure. That's why we have all these tissue boxes everywhere, because we are not so beautiful and clean. We always have to be wiping and cleaning all the time. You are not like that. You are now brilliant, white color, immaculate. You are beautiful. And your body is not a body of 36 impure substances. You are your divine body, adorned with all the major is 32 major marks, and minor are 80 minor marks, signs of perfection. So you have altogether you have 112 12 marks of the fully enlightened one, and beautifully adorned. This body is not physical, tangible body or natural light, but nevertheless beautifully adorned with silks. Silk is a symbol of modesty, and precious ornaments is a symbol of your inner qualities, your perfection of generosity, your perfection of discipline is anklets and bracelets and so on, and your perfection of patience is like earrings and so on. So all the precious ornaments represent your inner perfection of 6 paramitas and modesty, and you are completely free of the 4 maras. Therefore, you have conquered the 4 maras and accomplished the 6 paramitas. So therefore, your preciousness, your beautifulness represent all this transformation, and you are seated in an elegant meditative posture, That is there means you are there to remain in samsara, unperturbed by samsara, and elegantly. And that we are so restless, aren't we? We're so restless. We don't know what we're doing. It's like a fish thrown into the sand. We are constantly restless. One moment we want to do this, another moment we will go there. Quickly, easily happy, easily miserable, easily upset. We are like a fish thrown in the sand. Now, opposite to that, we are really seated in diamond posture as elegant Rupakaya. One's hands are in the preaching gesture. Your both hands are preaching gesture is usually like this, and at the level of one's heart, like this, this is usually gesture also of Vajrasanapada Buddha, preaching gesture, and are holding stems of white and red lotus, white lotus and red lotus, the petal of which are blossoming at the level of your two ears, and on each of them rest the Prajnaparamita text. This is if your short form is what sutra, or maybe it could be Diamond Cutter Sutra. It could be condensed meaning of the perfection of wisdom. It could be 80,000 verses. It could be 25,000 verses. All of the teachings of the Buddha, Prajnaparamita, Heart Sutra is shortest form, are resting in a form of scripture on both of the two lotuses. These are the book of knowledge. You have to rely on the scriptures of the Buddha. So therefore, the goddess Prajnaparamita is not a pretty lady in here. Goddess Prajnaparamita is enlightened one who has a comprehension of the complete teachings of the perfection of wisdom. So that's the meaning. And you are elegantly come to teach to the world. And always remember, sentient beings don't know impure as impure, impermanent as impermanent, no self as a no self, and they don't realize nirvana. They are stuck in samsara. So they need to know impermanent things as impermanent, impure things as impure. So they shouldn't grasp impure things as pure. They shouldn't grasp impermanent things as a permanent. So that's why you're teaching. You're teaching continuously 4 seals of Dharma. Okay? This is a very beautiful body, whole image of you on both hand gestures. Just looking at the sum of the Buddhas are always teaching, just from the gesture. They are constantly, Buddhas sometimes don't teach necessarily by speaking. Sometimes just by their holy hand gesture, the teaching just permeates. The range of the Buddha's teaching permeates everywhere, just through the holy gesture. So you should also adopt the role that I am Prajnaparamita, constantly teaching, and teaching the meaning of the contents of the Heart Sutra. This is what Goddess Prajnaparamita is, the deity Prajnaparamita. But the deity Prajnaparamita is so that you understand the meaning of the contents of the text Paramita. And the text Paramita is the realization of the 10 teachings of the Buddha. So that's visualizing yourself as a form of Prajnaparamita is called Samaya Sattva. So that's the Samaya Sattva. Now, what to do with yourself as Samaya Sattva is at the center of my heart is 8-petal lotus. So you visualize 8-petal lotus flower. You read through this and then you need to pause, Upon the 8-petal lotus is a syllable Om arises the wisdom being. Syllable Om, now the syllable Om is the wisdom being, Jnana Sattva. Syllable Om is the syllable deity, and yourself as a Prajnaparamita is the deity, and then so the syllable Om, and is a letter deity who resembles the deity. So that's why who resemble oneself, Samaya Sattva. Within Prajnaparamita's heart on a lotus mundus is a white syllable Om, and that's at the heart of the Jnana Sattva is is the syllable Om. That's the Samadhi Sattva. So this is called the three-tier sattvas. Three-tier sattvas is very profound in Vajrayana. This is symbolized three kayas, actually. Three kayas. You know, the Rupa Kaya, Sambhoga Kaya, and Dharma Kaya, respectively correspond to Samaya Sattva, Jnana Sattva, and Samadhi Sattva. And by meditating on these three-tier sattvas, you not only try to realize three kayas, but also you transform rebirth, pardo, and death. These three, respectively. I'm saying this because that's the overall meaning of the three-tier sattvas. Three-tier sattvas. And so now you need to focus on that at your heart chakra, you visualize that, and then now you're going to engage in the mantra recitation. Light radiating pure pearl-like white mantra rosary arrive from the syllable. Syllable Om, radiate rays of light. It is spewing out pearl-like mantra rosaries. The mantra rosary exits through one's navel and enters through exit through one's navel and then come back through your mouth. So it goes down and comes into your mouth and then reabsorb into the mantra rosary again. And then it absorb into syllable Om in one's heart. So it's going, rays of light issuing out, going out through the navel, comes into the mouth, and absorb into the syllable Om in the heart, and it stays like this. That's the visualization, circular. This is circular kind of. The light of this firebrand like spinning rosary, the white color, dispels the darkness. While this mantra, verbal recitation mantra is happening, physically counting the mala, visually you need to see the firebrand like turning of the mantra, and then what does it do? It illuminates the rays of light, and dispels the darkness of ignorance, confusion, misunderstanding, wrong views, assumptions, fears, anxieties of all sentient beings, and then you just send rays of light. It's like Shakyamuni Buddha was sitting. Like that's what you should do. You should stay in your home and do the sadhana, then send amazing loving kindness, wisdom, understanding, mediation to all sentient beings, not just to one or two tailoring, but to all sentient beings, confusion, illumination. You should remain in that meditative state. In that meditative state, then you recite the mantra. Having done the recitation and the visualization, having done doesn't mean you do and then recite mantra. You actually should do this simultaneously. While maintaining this firebrand like mantra rosary happening, you should then recite the mantra. And the mantra that you have is Om Pichu Pichu Prajavardhani. So Pichu has the meaning of very softening. Because what does wisdom do? Wisdom softens your roughness, your dualistic perception, your abrasive behavior, all become Pichu. Pichu means it smoothens, it evens and planes them. Pichu, there's two Pichu, the double. The double Pichu means that there is a gross level of roughness and subtle layer of roughness. They're all being softened. By what? Prajavardhani. Prajavardhani means increasement of intelligence. Increasement of intelligence. So when you do this, when intelligence increases, then Jwala means brilliant. Jwala means radiant light. Radiant light is brilliant. The brilliance and brilliance. Jwala actually means flame, Flame is very brilliant, isn't it? So you are igniting the brilliance of Madhavardhani. Madhavardhani is right speech, the increasement of right speech. Madha has a meaning of many meanings, but here it means that kind of you have the amazing ability to communicate. The communicating Vardhani has meaning skills, meaning increasing. You have amazing repertoire of communication skills to communicate to those who hold wrong views. You know how to teach it, they give the teachings, and you make them understand. So, Jola Marda Vardhani, and then Diri Diri means hold, you know. So it means retention. You have to have retention of this wisdom and the right conduct, right communication. Buddhi is again intelligence. Buddhi is intelligent, Prajna is wisdom. Vardhani has the same meaning. Vardhana means to increase, to flourish, to foster. Swaha, so be it. In any case, during the mantra recitation, you're not trying to think what are each syllable meaning. You shouldn't be worrying about that. You just should think of the qualities. Quality of dispelling the darkness of the world, illuminating all the world. So you should stay very still, and you should be very serene, and you should be very still, and you should be very simple. So with that in mind, then recite the mantra softly, or softly, not after reciting this as many as possible. But mantra should be free from faults of being too fast or too slow, or too loud or too soft. But rather kind of whisperingly recite the mantra as many as you can. It says, after reciting this mantra as many times as possible, while maintaining this above visualization, and then you then supplicate. You then go to do the supplication to conclude the sadhana. One should then request, Blessed Mother. But here, Blessed Mother is the Blessed Mother, you are the practitioner. Remember, you are the practitioner. The practitioner is here doing the sadhana, and as you are doing the sadhana, you are actually the lord of the family. I may have mistakenly told before. It is Amitabha. It's not Akshobhya. So Amitabha, when you're saying, "Oh, blessed Bhagavati," you're actually calling the Amitabha on top of your crown, because you're not talking to yourself. You're talking to the inseparable form of the Prajnaparamita on top of your crown is Amitabha. So, oh blessed one, the Blessed Mother refers to Amitabha and Prajnaparamita. Please bestow the light of transcendental wisdom, Prajnaparamita, upon us all. So that's the supplication before you finish the sadhana. You ask the blessings. So what does it mean if you have the bestowed blessings? Is then you have the siddhi. Then you have the siddhi means attainment. You have the kind of achievement. You have great victory. From then onwards, your comprehension, your attitudes are all boosted. And you should not forget, but remain in that state. So how do you conclude sadhana? And then mark 3 places, means your forehead place is marked by Om, white color, Vajrasana, and at your throat, which is the second place, is throat chakra. Here the red syllable A, Amitabha, and then at the heart chakra is the mind center. For that, blue syllable Hung, Akshobhya. So you have Vajrasana Buddha is represented by white Om, Amitabha represented by the red A, Akshobhya is represented blue Hung, are the 3 what you call Vajra letters. Vajra letter Om, Vajra letter A, Vajra letter Hung. Om, A, Hung. So you visualize those 3 syllables on your forehead, and you should always remember that. Always think. Therefore, what I mean by, if you have the Om on your forehead, you see all forms as a Prajnaparamita. If you read A, makes you to hear everything, all sound as mantra. syllable hung makes all thought as emptiness. So all forms as a deity, sound as a mantra, thought as emptiness is the three adamantines. Adamantine Kaya Vajra, adamantine Vaka Vajra, adamantine Chitta Vajra. So Om Ah Hung. So that is the so with this in mind, then you conclude the sadhana, very brief, and then you dedicate the merit. By this merit, may I swiftly attain enlightenment, meaning that you are dedicating this sadhana, that may I be able to attain. The quality of attaining enlightenment is that it's not just during the sadhana, but even after the sadhana, you should always have this awareness, continuous awareness, to see all appearances as not as real and concrete and truly existing as they appear. When you know that, that is the enlightening effect. Whatever forms adversely or pleasantly does anything to you, it does not, the sky doesn't bother touched by another sky, So you don't have any kind of a problem, because you are in that state of enlightened state. You're enlightened state. May I swiftly attain enlightenment. Enlightenment doesn't mean you jump through the ceiling and go upstairs and next door's neighbor. It doesn't mean that. Enlightenment means that you do not see all appearances as real and impure and permanent and truly existing. You don't have any of the erroneous views. That's enlightening. So therefore, even people praise you, you don't get puffed up. Even people disparage you, you don't get upset, because these things are all neither here nor there. You don't see them as truly existing from their own side, let alone from your side. So that is swiftly attain enlightenment. So enlightening is that you have this amazing kind of unoffendability. You're not vulnerable. Things happen before your naked eyes, but you do not see them as what ordinary people designate them to be. You merely see them as emptiness fusing into emptiness. That's enlightenment. May I swiftly attain enlightenment. And then, in sentient beings doing one thing to each other, also you will have the same perception and compassion for those who do not see the perception. This is the thing. This is the enlightening thing. Is two people are arguing and up at throat. You can see them as you see them as a temporarily whatever it is, but in the end you do not take side to one as literally good, one literally bad. You don't see this anymore. Why? Because you have swiftly realized enlightenment. So when you used to talk of quality of enlightenment, you should not see the enlightenment as something that happens in some kind of Big Bang type of thing. You would have small enlightenments, small nirvanas at the doorstep, small nirvana as you go out of the toilet, or small nirvana as you have the exchange between people. That kind of swift enlightenment. And how do you know if you are getting enlightenment? Then establish other sentient beings. Then you will not have ill will, aversion, attachment, jealousy, and any of the afflictive emotions will not come your way to hinder and impede. This is how then you will be able to, even those try to harm you, you actually see them, they help you to get awakened. So you will establish others to get enlightenment through power of your holy association. So therefore you're dedicating that as a result of doing this sadhana, may I have the post-meditationally being able to maintain these kind of core qualities of Prajnaparamita and have vision and awareness to carry through to benefit all sentient beings. And so that ultimately may all of them become established, meaning may they too become inheritors of this view discerning the nature of things as it is, and then they may also attain the stage of blessed Prajnaparamita. And may they also become enlightened, because you do not see them as no other than Prajnaparamita anyway. So with this in mind, you do the sadhana. So that is what a sadhana is. We talked about why, we talked about who, we talked about where and when, and then the next one is how does such sadhana, doing sadhana, helps you. Firstly, it gives you a daily discipline, knowing that, oh, I do this. The person who has commitment, people are afraid of commitment. I don't know why. They should make good commitment. You're committed to do many things anyway, Why don't you commit to do a sadhana? I'm not saying you compile many sadhanas. You don't sort of accumulate sadhana. You just know one sadhana very well, and then see all deities as in same embodiment of these, and then focus on one daily. Then you will, if you have this doing sadhana practice happen, then you will see how it's shifting your attitudes. Your attitude about him or that or this previously held views are somewhat shifting. You no longer are holding those views. You are just almost liberated. How? The sadhana. Sadhana means means of attainment. It is a know-how instruction, how to shift your mind. Person who could exercise every day 2 hours or something, then he feel much fitter. How? That's right. During the time he's doing exercising, he's huffing and puffing and sweating, But after a while he realizes it's helping. Like that, you will see, doing the sadhana, great skillful means to help you remember the 4 C's of Dharma, take refuge, the triple gem, generate the bodhicitta, have the right view. These are all encapsulated in every single sadhana. And you realize how profound the Vajrayana sadhanas are. And so then you will earn a lot of merit. You will accomplish a strong sense of faith in the Vajrayana teachings. That is Mahayana, that is Pratimoksha. All the 3 practices are in there in one. They're called 3 in 1. Vajrayana is 3 in 1. And you will have profound pure perception of Theravadas, Mahayana and Vajrayana. And you will have extraordinary joy and pure perception of the Vajrayana practices. And as a result of that, you can see how does the Vajrayana sadhana is shifting and helping us. And by whom should the sadhana should be applied? By you. You should apply that in everyday life situation, not just on the cushion, not just the mantra, not just the deity's color and the symbolism, but actually know what the finger is pointing at. If someone is pointing the finger, don't look at the finger, see what the finger is pointing to. The sadhana is pointing to you how to develop a skill, how to accomplish that through the teachings. So sadhana is teaching you ways to accomplish things in a meaningful way. So you previously do not know how to get rid of attachment and aversion and the wrong views. By doing the sadhana, it is almost empowering you. It is teaching you all the time. The teachings are everywhere. When you remember Prajnaparamita, teachings is everywhere. Not just in the shrine room, you have to look in front of the tanka and then think that the tanka is going to speak to you and that the Prajnaparamita is winking to you and that kind of artificial Vajrayana kind of attainments, So what if the deity spoke to you? So what? And then what did you do? You dumbfounded? So there are lots of Tibetan Buddhist biographies. Oh, this teacher had this vision, have the statue speaking to him or her. But so be it. But main thing is not the statue speaking to you. Main thing is how you speak to each other as human beings. How is this changing you? This you must look. You must look at the practical benefit of sadhana practitioner. A sadhana practitioner is called sadhaka. Sadhaka is practitioner. And what does the practitioner will receive? Siddhis. The sadhaka receives siddhis. Siddhis are attainments. Attainments are two: common attainment and uncommon attainment. Attainment means qualities. If somebody does something, usually you take offense very quickly, you jump, you react. But now you have this blessed siddhi, that you do not hear them as what you used to. You hear them as sound and syllables, vowels and consonants. You don't see them as a truly existing four-letter word. You don't see that. You don't hear that anymore. That's the siddhi. Siddhi. You don't get, oh, he said this to me, how dare he do this to me? I can carry on and on. And that's not siddhi. That's just opposite of siddhi. That's a delusion. Siddhi is even when people say things with four-letter words, but you do not get hurt by it. That's the siddhi. That's the mantrayana siddhi, hearing all sound as a mantra. That's the siddhi. And the one who says it is Prajnaparamita, Goddess Prajnaparamita herself. Prajnaparamita herself does not speak anything but mantra. See? That's the siddhi of seeing the deity, all forms as a deity. And siddhi of knowing your thought as an illusion. And subject, everything. So you need to look at the qualities and application. This is the application, we're talking about. If a person does sadhana, there is this application. Application means how useful it is, how relevant it is. Because some people don't find Vajrayana sadhana relevant. They have to read this every day. They don't know what the hell it is. Because they never received teachings. They probably never received even empowerment properly. And maybe they didn't receive the oral transmission properly, didn't understand sadhana, and they never received the actual pointing, aimed teaching of the teaching. They're queuing up, try to get something from the teacher, either as a blessing pill or a string or that. They think that's the empowerment. The real empowerment, when the Buddha gave, is the teaching. Is the teaching that teaches the person to change. That's the real empowerment. In kind of cultural Buddhists, they always give something to eat, another string to tie. Maybe some people, I can see in the next few decades time, I see the Vajrayana teacher will tattoo their students, Om here, Ah here, Hung here. as if they give the real empowerment. That's, or people say do some power and have some little wetness here. Don't look for this kind of a superficial, temporary kind of signs. Siddhis are a fundamental shifting of your attitudes and views. Whether you don't have any wetness from here or not, don't worry, your own 9 orifices will ooze the wetness. So what's so special about you becoming wet over the crown, This kind of mystifying Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism, is very dangerous. That's spiritual materialism. We need to have real siddhi of comprehending the 4 seals of Dharma, take refuge in the triple gem, embrace bodhicitta and right view. That's the siddhi. Why the deities all their crown and ornaments and holding various things? This is to teach people. These are two tools. These are all visual Dharma to teach the true Dharma. Not the kind of distract people, get so mystified with all this mundane, worldly kind of spiritual materialism. This is not Buddhism. This is spiritual materialism. So we have to, His Holiness Dalai Lama begs people to practice the Dharma as a 21st century Buddhist. Means you should use your logic. Don't mystify Buddhism, Lamaism, Vajrayana, let alone Buddhism. Make Buddhism practical. Make it scientific. Make it logical. Make it pragmatic. That's empowerment. So with this, we will conclude here. Sorry if I've been a little bit fast to our translators. Some are not used to my language, so that's my weakness of not being able to slow down. But I'm sure those who know how to capture the essence of the teachings, you would have done a very good job. So with this, we have concluded a short teaching on the Prajnaparamita sadhana, both on cushion and off cushion. Okay, off cushion is more important than on cushion. The egg that is laid by the chook in her pen is not used in the pen. Egg that is laid in the pen is picked up and used in the kitchen. Like that, the egg you try to lay in your cushion while doing the sadhana is to be used out of the cushion. In your everyday life, you should apply the meaning, So don't assess your sadhana, how you felt during the sadhana, how concentration fared. Don't worry about that. As long as you have this amazing commitment to do the sadhana and try to feed yourself that sadhana, so that it's like you pack your lunch so that you're able to work through the whole day. It's like that. You do the sadhana as a daily food for thoughts. So your journey of whole days is serviced by the sadhana. Don't try to materialize the sadhana on the cushion so much. I would like to report that in my 3-year retreat, I had a number of different experiences, but I don't regard them as anything special now anymore. I think these days I realize, now the real way how I interpret and apply the teachings is the most profoundly liberating art. What mystical experience I had or I shared with people in the retreat are just the traditional way of saying wow myself. Oh wow, reading somebody's biography, but actually have no real fundamental shift. So we need to be logical, we need to be practical, we need to be able to witness our own good changes that the teaching is teaching us and changing us, changing our perception, changing our views. We no longer hold the ill will anymore. We no longer do ill will. We no longer do resentment. We no longer do wrong views. These are empowerment. This is the Prajnaparamita. This is why she's holding the book to hit on her head. You go to High Lamas, they touch the books on your head so that you wake up. You wake up, remember the meanings. How to not to do ill will. How to not to do wrong views. That's what it is, Otherwise, if the book really blesses you, you can tie half a dozen books around your neck and then you walk like the dog with the collar, in the street, so that you're so blessed with the books. No, we have to realize the meanings, We shouldn't become amulet Buddhists, Buddhists who wear lots of amulets, but inside hollow meaning. There's no understanding. Always seeking external protections. So we need to have inner realization that guards and protect ourselves from the wrong view. Prajnaparamita is teaching. She's always there. She's always there teaching us. Remember, teaching. So the tanka in your home, the Prajnaparamita on the sadhana, when you see, she's always teaching. She's always says, remember, I'm teaching. So it's not just one class, and then few weeks, no class, not like that. She's constantly teaching. This is tantra. Tantra means continuously teaching. There's no time that the Dharma is not teaching. So we're not finishing this teaching, of course, having said that, but conventionally our aggregates need a rest. So thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance, for your diligence, and most importantly, for all of your faith and the belief in the teachings and blessed teachings of the practices like this. So with this, we will do the dedication of merits. Oh, by this merit, the defilements again omniscient, may I liberate or be from the ocean of bodhisattva. Herein the Mahayana teaching, whatever merit I have accrued, may all become stainless vessel to hold the Mahayana teaching. Courage, manjush renewed, as Amitabha delight, following all the example, I shall dedicate all the merit. May the excellent bodhisattva Tibet where has been born freely with the degeneration. May the precious view of emptiness Tibet where has been born freely without degeneration.
Dear Rinpoche La, we are so grateful for your kindness in giving us precious Dharma, the empowerment and teachings today, to make it better for other countries and other continents. Rinpoche La kindly agreed to teach today on very late hours for him in Australia. Even after midnight in Australia, now it is 1 a.m. in the middle of the night in Australia. Thank you very much, dear Rinpoche La, for your care about the audience from our 15 countries today. Many thanks to all the translators. Today, over 1,000 people participated in the empowerment in 2 Zooms of Sakya Friends and 4 our YouTube channels. Let me announce the next Dharma live stream. They will be in a different Zoom, and a registration is needed to receive the email with new Zoom ID. Next translations in Sakya Friends Zoom are planned for August 1st and 2nd for His Holiness the Sakya Trichen, giving Refuge, bodhisattva vows, and 21 Tara empowerment. Then on August 14th, Monday, His Holiness the Sakya Trichen, Vajra Rinpoche will give the Medicine Buddha empowerment. Then August 19th, Saturday, Lama Choedak Rinpoche will bestow the Amitabha empowerment and teachings on sleeping yoga. Thank you so much once again to dear Rinpoche La for teachings and blessing us today. Thank you everyone for joining. See you again in Sakya Friend Zoom during the next Planet Dharma live streams. Thank you.